Hey, you guys, good morning. Welcome back to Rebuilding a Kick-Ass Life. Um, Rebuilding my kick-ass life this last week was challenging, trying to live a kick-ass life. There is so much snow out here. It is insane. I've been shoveling for 8 days, I swear. And I now know I need to invest in a snowblower, something that I can handle, because my back is messed. I'm not even working from home today. I'm just trying to relax at home today. So I thought I'd have time to make this video. But when I was 16 years old, ever since this incident, my back has never ever been the same. I was about 16. I was with a bunch of my friends. We were on this big cliff, and I got pushed into the water. And I remember hitting the water so hard, not being able to move my arms or my legs. Like I literally felt, actually, that's not true. I was moving my arms, but I could not move my legs. It was the scariest moment ever. And ever since that incident, it took a while to sort of come around. I have not had a good back. When I was pregnant, I had some MRIs done, and my L4 and L3 discs or whatever are compressed. And so I throw my back out a lot. It's off all the time. And when it spasms, it is painful. So if you guys know anything about back issues, I'm with you. And so today I'm trying to just be really careful, not make any wrong moves. I've got a really busy week. I'm moving my son out of his house on Thursday. He's out of the country. And then I've got some staging jobs, and I've got a couple of groomings to do for large dogs. And so today I have nothing on the schedule, so I'm just trying to relax and not do any more damage to my back. And so I thought, okay, great. Well, I've got some time, then I'm going to do a video. I watch a lot of YouTube. I don't even know why I have cable TV. I got cable TV initially when Blake, my son, was on The Bachelor, and I should have just canceled it because I never watch TV. I'll watch like Netflix or YouTube. And lately I've been getting a lot of videos into my feed about, it took me 20, 30, 40, 50 years to learn this, and I'm going to tell you in 10 minutes. And I thought, oh, okay, I could totally do a video like that, specifically pertaining to my experiences. And I started writing things down. And then I thought, I don't need to write things down. I know exactly what I would talk about, especially because of my audience being predominantly women. I know exactly what I would talk about, and what took me so long to figure out, uh, I'll share with you in the next 10, 20 minutes. So, first of all, one of the big things that I know we're not supposed to have any regrets in our life, blah, blah, blah. I'm exactly where I need to be. My experiences have brought me here, all that stuff. Well, that's great if you don't have any regrets in your life. But if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I have two big regrets. My first regret, and the biggest, is having worked when I was having babies, children, and more specifically, my second child. So back in the day when I was having kids, we had 16 weeks of mat leave, 4 months. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people that need to work, especially today. I get it. We need a dual income because when you're starting out as a young couple with the state of the economy, I totally get it. You don't have a choice. Back then, in the early 90s, I had a choice. My husband at the time was making a good living, and I, quite frankly, well, hard pill to swallow, I was just selfish. I was selfish. I had this great job. I didn't want to give it up. I was working for L'Oreal. I thought I was superwoman. I can do it all. I can have the career. I can have the husband. I can have the white picket fence. I can have the kids. And now when I look back, I really regret that. When my second was born, you guys, I went back to work when he was 6 weeks old. 6 weeks. I could, oh my God, I could cry, I could cry, I could cry, I could cry. I could cry thinking about it. Just recently, when he asked me if I could go through some photo albums and pick out some photos. His best friend was getting married, and he wanted to do like a collage for him. He was making a speech, and he asked me to go through the photo albums. And what I found in there was letters from the date from his care provider. We had somebody come to the house. It wasn't a nanny; she left, but somebody come to the house, and I sat and read those letters of his, like the day, how the day progressed. You know, Cody woke up at 7 a.m. He had a good breakfast. And then it was things like he took his first step today. Things that I missed that I really regret. I really do. Why am I crying? I didn't want this to be that. I don't know. I'm in pain. So sometimes when I'm in pain, my emotions are everywhere. Anyway, so that is a big regret. I'm just being honest. I wish I could say that no, everything that I did brought me to where I am today. That was a big regret. And also, the other thing that sort of follows in line with that was constantly rushing rushing everything. Like, oh my God, I can't wait until you can walk. I can't wait until you can talk. I can't wait for this. I can't wait for that. I can't wait. And it was, it felt like I was never in the moment, enjoying the moment. It was always waiting or rushing the experience, rushing life. And today, as at almost 60, boy, would I love to just slow life the fuck down. Because time waits for no one. Time, especially today, I feel like, do you guys feel like this? I feel like the days are just whipping by. I lose complete track of time. It's like, where did the day go? How, like, even with Christmas, like, I feel like Christmas was such a whirlwind. Like, it came so fast and then it's gone. And I just feel like time is just passing by so fast. And I would like nothing more than to just slow it down and take the time to smell the roses. If you're young and you're watching this, stop rushing it. Stop waiting stop waiting for I'll be happier when this. Like for me, I remember like, oh my God, it'll be so much easier when you can walk. It'll be so much easier when you can talk. It'll be so much easier when, and even things like I'll be happier when I get that job. I'll be happier when I get that promotion. I'll be happier when I have a bigger house and we have more room. I'll be happier when I have that car I've been working so hard for. I'll be happier when this. I'll be happier when that. When you guys, I'm telling you that when you get that bigger house, when you get that new car, when you get that promotion, it is such a fleeting moment. You are happier in the moment for a moment, and then it passes. And then you're on to the next. I'll be happier when. And the thing to remember is time goes by so fast. Like how do I have a 34-year-old? I, looking back now, wish so much that I had just taken the time to slow things down, to be more present, to just enjoy the moment, to savor it, because it is going to go by like that. And I wish that I also, another thing I'm going to tell you that I learned now, I wish I didn't worry so much. I really wish that I didn't worry so much about things that I could not control. I spent sleepless nights. I spent days, nights, weeks, months, years crying. My second child was born with a lot of medical issues. And when he was 2 years old, they thought he had cancer and he was hospitalized. We were at Ottawa, CHEO. He was in that hospital for a week. The 24th of December, we got news that he didn't have cancer. He had a lesion on his kidney. They thought it was kidney cancer. But he had a lot of other issues. He's had more surgeries than birthdays. But here is my point. Of course, we're going to worry. Of course, we're parents. Of course, we want the best for our children. There were so many things that were out of my control. And I wish I had have just sat back and surrendered to what is and just take one day at a time and do what we're supposed to do and do the research and do the follow up and do the work and see the doctors and try and get the best medical care. But the arguments that I had with my husband at the time, who I've now am divorced, regret number 2, by the way, just because I was just so consumed with nonstop worry. I'm at a point in my life now where I'm not a panicker anymore. I evaluate a situation and is there something I can do about it? Yes. Is there something that I can't? Then do it. If I can't, then there's no sense in worrying about it. And by the way, statistically, we worry about like 90 some percent of the things we worry about are things that never ever come to fruition anyway. I have the serenity prayer. I want to share it with you. And I say this every day. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This is a serenity prayer that we use in our family therapy, and I really do live by that now, but I have for a long time since my second divorce. I really sort of that's when I did a lot of the work. And just going back to my son, who was born with all these medical problems, and I worried and worried and worried and worried and cried and cried and cried, and a lot of the stress that came with that had a lot to do with I mean, I don't want to blame it on him. It was not him, but it did. It really affected my marriage. And consequently, as a result of that and a lot of other things, we ended up getting divorced, which I know that marriage could have been salvaged. I know it could have been salvaged. And that is a tough pill to swallow. Anyway, that again is a thing that I cannot change now. And he's married, remarried, and we co-parent well. And I need to not dwell on that. But here's the thing about that child that I worried so much about. That child that I worried so much about went on, he's now 31. He is a commercial pilot. He is an honor roll student. He went to university, played varsity football, and graduated with honors in the science program. He wrote his MCATs to be a veterinarian, and at the 11th hour decided, I don't think I want to be a veterinarian, Mom. I think I want to be a pilot. Okay, after going to university for 5 years, playing football. And if you know anything about university sports, it is about the sport. Education is like second. And he wasn't in an arts program. He was in a biology program, organic chemistry. Subjects that I can't even pronounce half of them. And he graduated with honors. And he went on he was going to go to vet school and then decided he wants to be a pilot. And then he set his mind to that. And he is now a pilot. And not only is he a pilot, 2 months ago, the position came up for captain. And out of 30 people that applied, he got the job. And so now when I look back to the days, the years of worrying, we were at Bethesda, Maryland. We were from Canada. We went to the National Institute of Health. I think we visited that place 3 times. They were trying to assess what was going on with him. At one point, they thought he had Proteus syndrome. I could write a book on just what I went through with my second child. Hemihyperplasia, hemihypertrophy, hyperostosis on the left mastoid, Proteus syndrome. I mean, it was years. And now when I look back, there were so many times that I was so obsessed with thinking the worst, worrying about the worst, foreseeing the worst, when really, in fact, he has been the biggest blessing in my life, in all our lives. He has surpassed and exceeded every obstacle that was put in front of him. And so that is another thing that I wish I had have known back then. This too shall pass. And of course, when you have obstacles that come your way, if you can't change them, like in that serenity prayer, give me the courage to accept what I can't change. And then what I can change, work at whatever it is that you have to do to change it to get a more positive outcome. But like I said, 90% of the things we worry about never even come to fruition. So that's one thing. The other thing that I had to learn is that not everybody likes you. Not everybody is your friend. Not everybody is rooting for you. We all have those friends um, that are secretly envious of your success. And there's one thing, if there's one thing I've learned is when I know my real friends, who they are. My real friends are not the ones that are there when I'm in trouble or I'm in a crisis situation, and they're there to listen. And sometimes they're listening and they're being falsely sympathetic because secretly they kind of enjoy or it elevates them to see your struggles. And so now my real friends, I feel like, are the ones that actually truly genuinely rejoice in my successes, rejoice in my happiness, rejoice in my, I don't know, I just feel like when I can have those friends that are there to celebrate my wins, then that is a true friend. Have you ever had a situation where you're having a party? Like I remember I was having my book launching party. For those of you that don't know, I wrote a book, Rising Up, Take Charge, Break the Cycle, and Rebuild a Kick-Ass Life. And I remember when I was having that book launch party, I was actually, this is about 10 years ago, I was actually really shocked by the fact that a lot of my so-called friends that I thought would be the first to show up to my book launch party and like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. This is so exciting for you, were the ones that couldn't make it. Or were the ones that are like, oh, I'm so sorry, would love to come, but I've got this going on or that going on. And it was very telling. And this leads me to another thing that I've learned. I don't know if you heard of the let them theory. I think Mel Robbins, I don't know if she's the one that came up with it, but I have listened to her, podcast on Let Them. When people like that in your life come up with, they don't invite you perhaps to a girls' weekend, or they exclude you from something, or they don't tell you something. What I've learned now is don't stress about it. Don't obsess about it. Just let them. Just let them. Just let them. You don't want to come? Okay. You don't have to. You don't agree with me? Okay. You don't have to. You think I'm too much? Okay. I'm not enough? Okay. I'm too skinny, too fat, too whatever. It's okay. Just let them. Because by letting them, allowing them to be who they truly are, really does give you a real indication and a real in-depth look at who they truly are. So just let them. Just let them. And it is so liberating when you get to the point in your life where you are just okay with how people treat you without having such a huge response or reaction to it. Because sometimes the best reaction really is no reaction at all. So, not everybody is your friend. Learn to know the difference and how to respond accordingly. Not react, but respond. That was kind of a tough lesson, but not everybody is there to celebrate your wins. Okay, I need to put my glasses on to see. Those are probably the most. Oh, here's another one. Here's a big one, actually. Learn that you cannot please everybody and don't try and be a people pleaser. Not everyone is going to like you. And when you stand in your truth and your authenticity and become who you really are, that naturally weeds out a lot of the people that really don't matter in your life. And I spent so many years just trying to always, be the people pleaser, being the one that smooths everything over, taking a back seat um, to things, to events, to just taking a back seat, like not really giving my opinion or my voice my opinion because it didn't really matter. As long as everybody else is happy and as long as everybody else is doing what they want to do, then I'll just take a back seat to it. And so now I don't really do that. I say no a lot more often. I'm very, very discerning of my friends and the people I spend time with and how I spend my time. So now a lot of times I'll just say, no, thank you. I'm not interested in doing that. I'm not interested in whatever the event may be that I just don't want to. I'd rather maybe sit at home and read a good book or, I don't know, watch a movie, or I just don't feel guilty anymore about saying no. I had to learn that. I don't take on any more than I can chew. Um, Stop giving away your power. So that's an important one too. I learned that in life, we we get back what we give, and we give what we get. And I've learned that nobody has the ability to take our power from us or make us feel any type of way without us allowing it. And so oftentimes we give away our power by having such an adverse reaction or being really angry or being super upset or being just obsessed with having this reaction to a certain event, that we're giving them now our power because nobody has. I know, listen, I know it's easier said than done, I know it is, but nobody has the ability to make you feel bad about yourself, or to make you second guess yourself, or to make you feel guilty, or to make you feel sad or angry. Those are feelings. There's an event, and then we assign that particular feeling to that event. That's us. So nobody has the power to take your power away, to control your emotions. That's all completely up to you. And so a lot of times we give our power away by having really strong adverse reactions to a certain situation when it's always in our control. You can't control anybody else. All you can do is control how you feel about a situation and how you react towards a situation. Oh, I had to learn to stop comparing my life to everyone else. Stop comparing what's happening in my life to others. Stop feeling like I should be further ahead, or stop feeling like everybody else has it better than I do, or stop feeling like I'm not good enough, or I shouldn't be here. I don't belong here. I don't belong with these people. I don't belong in this situation. Having imposter syndrome, like, who am I to be talking about this sort of stuff? Who am I to be thinking that I belong in this circle? I belong. Period. End of story. I matter. Period. End of story. And so do you. And so we need to stop feeling like we're not good enough to be at that table, because everybody has a place at the fucking table. Okay? I actually really started feeling more like that since I've met high profile people from because of my son being on TV. There was people that sometimes you look up to them just because they're famous. And at the end of the day, after actually meeting them and spending time with them, from seeing them on TV or following them on social media, and I've actually had an opportunity to spend time with them and to meet them, they're just people. They're just regular, ordinary people. We are more alike than we are different. And I no longer have this, I'm not like in awe of a celebrity, or I'm not in awe of somebody that is, I don't know, that is famous, which has really been helpful in terms of making you feel like you are almost like an equal. They're just human beings like you are. They bleed the same way you do, they hurt the same way you do. Joys, sadness affect them the same way it affects you. And so I no longer have or feel like I have imposter syndrome or I'm not good enough. I just am. I just am. I am who I am, and I feel comfortable in my own skin. Okay. Stop waiting for things to happen. I've already talked about that. And you are all, okay, this is a good one too. And then I'm going to end it here. I didn't want this to go much longer than 25 minutes because it takes forever to upload. But the one biggest thing I've learned too is that uh, nobody nobody is really there coming to your rescue. Maybe initially, if you're having, a crisis or something, people will help you out in the moment. But at the end of the day, you are the only person you have. You are the one that you have to rely on yourself. You are all you've got. And what I mean by that is we need to learn to really love ourselves and to have faith in ourselves, to believe in ourselves. And we are all we've got. We come into this world alone. We leave this world alone. And so now, more than anything, I rely on myself, and I feel confident in relying on myself. So honestly, now I'm all I've got. And I've been told often that sometimes I have an aura of being really sort of almost like hardened or being cold or being super self-assured or super confident, almost like in a negative way. And all I have to say to that is, you guys, I've had a life where I've not had the opportunity or the luxury of being soft. I've had a life where, from a very young age, I've had to stand on my own 2 feet. I've had to fend for myself. I had a life where I was the protector, often in a home where my father was very abusive to my mother as an alcoholic, and I was always coming to her defense. I've had a life of always having to stand up for myself and find my own way through life. I didn't have parents that were good in guiding me, in redirecting me, in helping me. Things like, I don't know, like, like for my kids, I remember doing university visits with them, helping them, guide them in what sort of like which way they should go in life, what universities would be best suited for their needs, depending on what they wanted to study, helping them get their license, driver's license. Like I didn't have any of that. I had parents that were immigrants that barely speak the language today. And I felt like I was more of the parent rather than the child, and still feel like that to this very day. And so I have had a life where being soft was not a luxury. I was in a toxic, tumultuous, abusive second marriage. And again, it's been a life where I've had to fend for myself and stand on my own 2 feet and only rely on myself. And that is why I think some people get the impression, the people that don't really know me at my core, get the impression that I can be dismissive or cold or bitchy or I don't know, stuff like that. And it's because I don't know, I've learned to put up this wall, and unless you really know me, that wall does not come down. And sometimes it can be isolating, and it can be um, I don't know. It's just the way I've learned to live my life, and it's the way I've learned to keep myself safe. It's a defense mechanism to keep yourself from getting hurt, from being disappointed, from you know, not having to rely on people because people have let you down a lot in your life. And so now what I've come to learn is that really at the end of the day, it was always me. I always had it in me to change my life. I always had it in me to create a life that I wanted for myself, a better life. And at the end of the day, you really are all you've got. Um, and learning to rely on yourself and to believe in yourself is something that I've took me a long, long time to learn. And now I'm really good at living on my own. I've not dated in 10 years. I have not been in a relationship in over 10 years. I am happier than I've ever been. And I have a full, complete life. And I live it on my own terms. And you have the ability to create the same life for yourself and live it on your own terms. Okay, that's it. Those are the things that I really have come to learn that took me a long time to took me a long time. I think I was 50 before I started to really, really look at my life and learn these things that I hope you can learn at a much younger age. Don't rush life. Don't rush it. It goes by so fast. Time waits for no one, so do it. Whatever it is you want to do, write that book, take that trip, whatever you want to do it. Don't wait for life, for things to happen to make you happy. You're not going to be any happier when you get the new car, get the new home, get the new job, get the promotion. You're not going to be any happier. You might be in the moment, but it's fleeting. Live life to the fullest every single day. Be discerning with who you spend time with. Time is precious. It's the most precious commodity. So spend time with people that you want to spend time with. Remember that not everybody is going to be your friend. And so be observant of that. And that's okay. You don't have to please everyone. Not everyone has to like you. And create the life that you want, because at the end of the day, you are all you have to count on, and you have the power within you to create the life that you want and live authentically and live life on your own terms. The biggest regret that I have is rushing life with my children when they were little. If I had one wish, if somebody could grant me one wish, I would like to go back to the day that I gave birth to my first child and live those first 5, 10 years all over again. I would spend every single second I could with them. Anyway, that's it. Have a great day. Remember to keep rebuilding your kick-ass lives. Bye, guys. Oh, wrong button. Let's try it again.